Thank you for being here at an early hour in the fourth day of the event. My name is Bruno Novak. I'm Director of Product Marketing in the Microsoft 365 group. I work on the modern desktop, so all things deployment, servicing, analytics, and beyond. I'm here today with John Wilcox, Principal Program Manager in the Windows Servicing and Delivery team. And we have a condensed session for you. So hopefully you're fully awake, very attentive. And we're going to run through quite a few things, but instead of what we had earlier this week, which was a 75 minutes for the session, today we have 45. So let's get this going and start with just a quick refresher for servicing and some of the reasons we do the things we do. Before I jump there, let me ask you this. Do I have any repeat customers from earlier in the week? I do have one, two. Thank you. Appreciate the patronage. So the reality is...
Maybe we should have them come up and do this for us. See how
oh, that's good. Time. Let's see how awake you were earlier in the week. So the reality is we, as much as you, but probably you more than us, are under a lot of pressure to continue this digital transformation. And it comes from multiple places, right? It comes from employees who want access to their devices the same way they access their personal devices. It comes from the business because the business wants to hire talent, wants to move faster, wants to lower cost. And of course, there's other external pressures and other internal pressures from security, auditing, and all of that. And then when we add all of that, people say to me when I come and talk about Windows as a service or Office ProPlus servicing, they say, why do I need to stay current? People want to know, like, why do you care? What, like, I used to do this, like, I do Patch Tuesday, that's fine. But now you have this whole thing, a feature update every 6 months. Why? So let's run through the three main reasons. You probably read it already on the slides, because that's a kind of a thing with slides, right? Once you put it up, it's impossible for you not to go and read. But the reality is, every time we do a feature update, we improve stability, power management, a lot of the performance pieces. And that's super important because you want that device to be stable and better and better and better for your end user. The middle one is probably the elephant in the room for all of us. It is security. And as you know, before when we did releases every 3 to 5 years, there was a lot of time for people to play with the vulnerabilities. And what we try to do is with these 6-month releases, we give them a lot less time, and we continue to improve the architecture of the OS. So you may say, but Bruno, don't you fix the security issues with our monthly updates? We do, but we learn from some of those threats, and then we go back on the architecture of the OS. And we change the architecture of the OS to make it more resilient to similar things in the future. So that's an important piece as well. And then last but not least, as we were talking about talent acquisition, millennial talent acquisition, and so on, you do want to give your end users the best thing that they can get so that they are more productive, they are happier, you retain talent, and you can attract talent. I don't know if you've seen this statistic. The first time I saw it, I wasn't very surprised, but I now have a data point. 42% of professionals, millennial professionals, are willing to change employment because of the technology tools that are provided to them. So give and take, about half are willing to walk away if they don't get the tool they believe they should. So from there, the next question is, why did you change the way you do it? Because in the past, we published all these knowledge base, separate updates, and you almost had like a full menu, a plethora of choice, and you could just pick what you wanted. Well, that created problems for mostly everybody, but if you go nail it down, it's very hard for us to test all possible combinations, for ecosystem partners to test all possible combinations, and for the overall industry to have a consistent set of bits. And so we minimize fragmentation, and with the structure of cumulative updates, we guarantee that across the board, we are all running the same set of bits. So that helps servicing, that helps support from the ecosystem, and it helps make sure that everybody's fully patched. And from there, we think about some of the latest and greatest that teach us that this is not just an OS problem, right? When these two threats came to view, we realized that it goes all the way down to the silicon. And it makes it a lot more important to be fully serviced in all of those vectors. I don't know if you're aware, but we have a tab on Windows Analytics that gives you status of the 3 things you need to patch to defend from Meltdown and Spectre. But every time I present that particular thing, I'm fascinated by some of the reactions. And one of the most telling reactions was early when we came with the functionality, a very large customer came to us and said, I totally want to do the firmware and the OS updates, but I am in an antivirus platform that is outdated, and I need to go update AV on 110,000 devices before I can patch the OS and firmware. And the estimate was that it was going to take 9 months to do the AV upgrade to be able to fully patch this. And so you can tell that that's not a very comfortable situation to be in, and it's something that we need to be very aware of and kind of trying to stay ahead of this game as much as possible. And then last but not least on the introduction, let's settle down on language. We have 2 updates, and that's all that we do. We do quality updates. You may know them as cumulative updates, monthly updates, security updates, Patch Tuesday. We call them quality updates, and those are the monthly updates that have no features, no new features, but they fix reliability, bugs, security stuff. And every one of those supersedes last month's, and so cumulative, and that's the reason some of you call it that. And then we have feature updates twice a year. We make it very simple to deploy with in-place upgrade. There's a lot of testing and effort put in to minimize the amount of time it disrupts the end user and to minimize the size of the payload. And that is to make sure that you can deploy that in a pretty easy manner. Now, last piece on the introduction before I hand it over to my friend Mr. Wilcox to talk about change management. Let's see if anyone can guess what is the next thing after people ask me, why do I need to upgrade? What's the next thing they want to be able to go talk to people about to be able to drive a feature update? How's a good one, but I normally get one before that. When? We will give you when, and when's very predictable. That's easy. People want to know what is in each release. Is there something in a release that I care about? And is there enough to justify that deployment? So, here we go. This is a view of all the features we have added that are commercially relevant since 15.11. And if you think that maybe there isn't much for commercial in every release, I beg to differ. I'll let you all take your pictures because I have had that reaction before. And then the next one, which is, after all, the session is Windows and Office ProPlus servicing. And so you probably want this for ProPlus, right? Yes, please. Let's give you that. And so this is super important, and this is something that you should keep in mind. There's a long list here. It is important to familiarize yourself with what's coming with our preview channels. And it is also important to understand that we have at every release a set of commercial scenarios that we prioritize to make sure that we get better for you. And they are servicing, they're provisioning scenarios, security scenarios, productivity scenarios, and we continue to do that at every release. And so if by any chance you may have had the impression, or someone else may have had the impression that, hey, maybe there's these releases that don't have much in them, I assure you, all releases have a ton of new feature functionality scenarios in them. And I suggest you start looking at them early with insider previews so that you can understand what you're going to fully use and what you're potentially going to turn off or not take full advantage of. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to my friend John Wilcox, who will talk about some of the change management aspects, and then I'll come back to talk about the security side, the technology side of servicing.
Thanks, Bruno. I'm going to talk about what's probably at the top of your mind, which is how can you possibly make this change with Office 365 and Windows to this cadence of every 6 months, because you're still thinking in terms of how you do this today or how you've always done software updates for as long as you've been doing this, which is a process that probably takes a year or two, some of you 3 or 4 years before you do this. And the biggest conversation I have with customers, and I've worked with customers on Windows 10 now for over 3 years, this is all I do is work with early deployers of Windows 10, is really appreciating that the most important thing to understand that as you make this change to a software as a service model, it's understanding and preparing for the change management that goes along with it. And what should be encouraging for you is no matter what industry you're in, every other part of your organization, your business, has gone through similar change management over the last 10, 15 years as the rest of your business has moved to a much more agile, quicker pace, more competitive space. Really the last place to move to be more responsive to what end users are doing, to move to the service mentality, has been IT itself. The ironic part is IT is what's enabled the rest of your company to become more data aware, to become more focused on your end users and what your products are doing, to continuously improve your products. IT has made that possible. Now we're bringing that into IT space as well. You know, Bruno showed the improvements we make in Windows every 6 months. How many of you have products or services today that don't change or evolve but every 3 or 4 years? I can't think of a single industry today that could succeed if they said, well, we're only going to improve our product every 3 or 4 years. We've all moved in a space where understanding what your customers are doing with your products in advance and proactively going out and improving those products, making them more valuable for the users is the key. And that's what we're really doing, enabling. So this change management piece. Think in terms of what software projects were like up to the past. This is probably an example for XP or previous versions of Office. When XP and moved to 7, you took a look at the OS. Was the OS capable or functional with the capabilities that you wanted in terms of what you're trying to get done for the hardware that you had or the hardware that you were looking to buy? Was the network prepared for the implications of that, what was going to be required, the things that the OS enabled that you want to be able to go use? Frankly, because we did such a bad job, either in terms of supporting app compatibility, because I always change the APIs with a new application platform, I moved the start screen, I took the start screen away, I put the start screen back. You had to get new applications, you had to deal with user trainings. There was a bunch of work in terms of preparing for the change to your users that the update was going to incur. You created your golden image, you tested your golden image, you locked your drivers down. After a period of time, you finally felt you're ready to go. And by some process, it's all different, but they all share the common traits. You make a decision that's ready to deploy. Whether you vote in a room, do it across email, you made your decision, it was ready to deploy, and then you deploy it out to your users using SSC and whatever tools you happen to use. And for most of you, I won't ask you to embarrass you, when you thought you had your golden image and you started your deployment, you probably found you missed something that you didn't find out until you actually got out. So you have golden image number 2, golden image number 3, 4, 5, or 6 before it gets rolled out. This look familiar to most of you? Some version of this? And here's the thing about this. We all spent way too much time, money, and effort on the left side of that deploy decision line, where you're not getting any value. Your end users aren't getting any value for the activities that you're doing, because the value comes from the right side of your users using the new capabilities, enabling the new hardware types. And the most important thing was this process didn't do a very good job in terms of validating and making sure our software is ready to go, because until you actually start deploying it, that's when you begin to find the really hard issues and the things that only your users know about. And so if I could show you a means by which we can move that deploy decision to the left earlier in the life cycle of the product, but more importantly, than doing it with less money, less time, and less effort, we do it with better validation so that you know what's going on, you're delivering a better product to users, and you can respond and fix products on a quicker basis. That's what we're going to talk to you about today in terms of how to make this happen. And frankly, that's the key in terms of how you can move to a more valuable relationship with your business partners and your end users in terms of your ability to deliver value and services to your customers. The key thing you've heard all week, that you'll hear again today, is adopting and using data and telemetry for monitoring what's going on and knowing what's going on in your organization. This is the single most important mindset change, is understanding that the data and telemetry that's built into the products that frankly every software company uses today to know what's going on with their products, how their users are using the products, and be able to consistently improve their products is key for understanding how you can do this. And then using tools to roll these things out on a continuous basis, and we'll cover that as well. So I'm up here to tell you about this and to talk about the change management and using data, not just as somebody who's trying to sell you my products. In fact, this is how we run our business. This is key for how we, in fact, grow the Windows 10 base, how we service our promise to our end users. And in fact, I am an IT administrator. I'm the IT administrator for almost 600 million devices, just like you. Those devices are connected to the Windows Update service. I push out the monthly updates to those devices. I decide when, and I update those devices every 6 months with feature updates. When I say these devices, who are they? They're your devices at home. They're your brothers and sisters, your mom and dad's devices. And I apologize when you get the call from mom or dad when they get change. I get those calls from my mom and dad as well. I know it's very patient, trustful tone to explain what's going on. So I know these things, and I have the same concerns. I'm concerned about what's the end user experience, what's the quality going to be. I'm concerned about what's my call center impact going to be when I go and update 10 million devices tonight. Are my call centers able to handle the calls we expect? So I have those same concerns that you do. How do I do this? We have a group of about 60 people that manage this for 600 million users. Let me show you a little bit what that means look like. 1803 was the release that just went out last April. It was the fastest deployment of Windows 10 we've had to date. Fastest ever to hit 250 million devices. It took us about 40 days. Half the time it took us for the previous release. And while that speed is important to us, it was a particular goal. This shows you how much faster we got. RS4 was 1803 than our previous releases in terms of the percentage of users and the number of users that we had. It was very, very fast. We did this all using data and telemetry. In fact, with 1803, we used AI and machine learning models to drive this every night. So as we deployed out the devices, we captured more data, we updated our models, we identified new devices, published them out to the next night, and continued to go. And it accelerated much faster than we expected it to go. In fact, you see here, we were updating 10 million devices a night. And while this was great, if it was simply a matter of going fast, like you, that was not our key concern or metric. It was about the impact to the users. This is our call center rate, calls per million devices. And the thing that was most exciting about this, and again, leveraging the data, let the data identify devices and know it's going well, we had the lowest call center rate incidence of any previous release. So I show you this simply in terms of, I'm not up here pitching you something that we have in slides. This is what we, in fact, operate our business on a daily basis. And the key value for you is I take all the learning, I take this process, and we make it all available to you through the Windows Analytics tools and the Office tools, so that you can leverage the same awareness and data as a tool yourself, but more importantly, the learnings that we get as we update these things into your environment. Because as we talked about with cumulative updates, everything I do externally on these devices I manage is 100% applicable to you because you're in the same software that these 600 million devices do. What does this mean actually in terms of the data, the numbers? I've done over 1 billion feature updates since Windows 10 shipped. I'm approaching 14 billion quality updates since Windows 10 shipped. I service 300 devices every second of every day. And all that learning, the validation I get back from those, I share back with you through Windows Analytics. I, in fact, will have updated the hardware you have in your organization before you attempt to do your first one. And I can tell you in advance if the next version of Windows 10 works great on your devices, because I've already done that by tens of thousands of times outside your organization. What's the impact of this? As you as a commercial enterprise customer, because we've defragmented Windows, all the learning and the validation that I get externally around hardware, drivers, and applications is applicable to you for your hardware and applications are the same inside. The consumer scale and the speed of that telemetry allows us to get validation across variations and numbers that you simply can't reproduce yourself internally. And we get faster feedback across languages and geographies and applications than, again, you could ever do internally yourself in this period of time or even much longer. And so as a result, you know, for many of you used to wait for a while for SP1 to sort of Microsoft get Windows to be enterprise ready. This process allows us to get, quote unquote, enterprise ready far faster than any previous release made possible, simply because of the nature of those. As I push an update out, in a matter of hours, I'm getting validation and telemetry back from devices. So I told you I share this information back with you. We share that back to you through Windows Analytics. How many people have Windows Analytics deployed or beginning to use it? Not enough. See a few hands. Next year, I expect all the hands to be way, way, way up. So the first bit is I show this information back in upgrade readiness. This allows you to compare one build to the next build. This, again, is a key tool we use as we do updates. It allows me to see things like hardware, drivers, readiness, application readiness from one build, 1709 to 1803. I can compare those results across both things. In the case of your usage, what it allows you to do is, since I've already updated hardware that you have, I can map that data directly into your devices, and I can show you these devices with these applications are good to update because we've already got devices with those characteristics outside your organization. doing the same. Update compliance. It tracks the monthly quality updates. It will show you the devices that are patched and are current from a security patch point of view, as well as give you information around delivery optimization tuning. So if your CISO wants to know, are we patched for WannaCry, are we patched for Meltdown, or are we current in terms of security patches, update compliance will show you that, show you devices that are still out, and the velocity by which you're getting updates out across your organization. The last is device health. Device health will answer questions proactively that you today have a hard time or it's an expensive time in terms of getting visibility to. How many of you have a sense in terms of how many user mode or kernel mode crashes your users are experiencing on a daily basis? Very hard to get, because today the way you know about that is I get a blue screen or I have a problem, I call center, which you probably ignore until you get enough of them, and then you go spend time to go drill down and investigate. Very expensive, slow process. Device health will actually monitor those crashes, gives you a dashboard to see those, and then identify the drivers that are responsible for those crashes, the versions of those drivers, and if there's a new driver available, it'll show you that, so that you can proactively go out, patch the update driver, and resolve or improve your user's experience on a proactive basis. That's what device health will allow you to go do. So these are tools that allow you to move into this model of building a process by which you can monitor this pane of glass, see what's going on in your organization, and then respond as an IT organization where you see signals that something needs to be improved, much like the other parts of your business already do in terms of managing their process and their products. All this is included. If you've got E3 or better, there's no cost. You can go sign up for it. Very easy to go and install and do. If you have questions, your CISO has questions in terms of the data that's being solved, that's all been documented as well. It's GDPR compliant, and we even make a tool available so you can actually look at the data itself and analyze that. If any of you think the version of a graphics driver you have is proprietary and secret, I'd like to understand more about that. Tell me afterwards, but that's the type of data that it tracks. So once we have data and telemetry in place, we want to move to this process. Because when you think about it, we want to do continuous improvement for our users. So what does that process and framework look like? Last year, the Office team and the Windows team got together, and we agreed in terms of common terminology, a common servicing framework. And so while our execution is slightly different, which you'll see in a moment, this framework is consistently used between both O365 and Windows. The first is planning and prepare. If I'm providing new capabilities in Office or Windows every 6 months, how do you know about those features that you want to go use that are interesting to your users or to your business partners? And many of those things require some planning and design work on your behalf to go use. Things like Windows Information Protection, or things like AppGuard, which requires you to figure out what are the rules by which you want to protect these things, or the cases that you want to go use those. So you want to plan and prepare for those things so that when it ships, which is indicated by the SAC sign there, when we ship our code, your design work's ready to combine it, and then you can begin to roll it out to your users. The first thing you do is, when I release the SAC, which we'll be doing very shortly for 1809, start your deployment. When I say start your deployment, this is like an assembly line. You start your deployment. You're going to get validation and feedback from a set of users during this validation phase. We call this the targeted validation phase because you're specifically making the deployment begin with a set of targeted users to collect their feedback, to collect the telemetry back, to make your deploy decision. So when you're doing that, this is done by flighting rings. You've probably heard somebody from Microsoft numerous times talk to you about use flighting rings. I'm going to bet nobody from Microsoft has ever done a good job satisfying you in terms of explaining what does that actually mean and how do I actually go build these rings? How do I decide who goes in them? Because I'll bet most of you have always got a process in place to pilot software, which means you give it to your IT guys, right? The IT guys pilot the software. How many of you have applications and hardware in IT that are consistent or represent the entire organization? Like nobody. So what's key for these rings, this is key for the way we roll this out, is your rings need to be able to represent your organization so the data you get back, you can make that deploy decision with. And again, this is where analytics comes into place. Because analytics, when you install it, goes out and creates a complete inventory of all of your hardware in your organization. It makes a complete inventory of all the applications that you have in your organization and shows you the deployment of those applications by users and how they're being used. And with that information then, you can do this today, or with Desktop's analytics, it will do it for you. We'll actually create a recommendation for rings where you can create these rings that actually have devices that have hardware and applications that represent your entire organization by which you can make this data. What's very cool to see about it, if you go and look at some of the demos here on the exhibit floor, you might have 10,000 devices in your organization, and in that, there's probably 200 or 300 devices that will actually give you complete coverage for all those variations, and the tool will actually show you that. So now if you get a validation ring, you put those devices in it, they will create coverage for all of your hardware and all of your applications. Gives you the data back that you can make a deploy decision to know that, okay, this build can be rolled out broadly, and all the applications and hardware are working well. Again, we'll also tell you if there's a new driver that needs to be updated as part of that process. It just shows up in your dashboard when you roll it out. So you've got your deploy decision, you've got the data back, it's good for you to roll out, and then you go to broad deployment, which is how you go out to all your users. Ideally, you'd be able to click your fingers, and all your devices have it the next day because you're no longer validating it, you're trying to move into deployment mode. So with desktop analytics, this is built in now, so if you set it up, the automation process will actually roll the software out automatically to users. Because the other part that goes with this, if you think in terms of this assembly line metaphor, you want to move your mindset from what we call a green button approach to a red button approach. Our green button approach is what we've done historically, which is you create your golden image, you do a bunch of testing, and only when you're satisfied, you hit the green button to start deploying it out to users. The red button approach is slightly different. You've built your process, you have your telemetry and your data that's feeding you back information about knowing what's going on, and you start deploying. And you continue to deploy unless an issue pops up, because now you have quick signals, and only then you can go press the red button to stop the deployment to those users, go understand what's going on and fix it. Because in the normal case, the updates are just going to flow out and be good. Much like if you're in the manufacturing process, the same notion. You have an assembly line, you have telemetry coming off those assembly lines to know what's going on. You want the assembly line to continue to run, but if necessary, quick feedback and stop it if necessary. So this is a continuous framework. While we're running out to broad deployment, there's a new build, because with the Windows Insider Preview program, you have individuals who are on these early builds getting early visibility to the features and functionality that are coming in the next release. And in fact, this is a key part, a key new thing that you're doing that you weren't doing in the past, because when I shipped something to you every 3 or 4 years, you had a lot of time to go out, because many of you had to wait for ISVs to understand these things and bring new applications. But in this particular case, how do you go about understanding what's coming in the next release? I'm very transparent. I share this information with you. I want you to go do this so you can give us feedback. And it's the Windows Windows Preview program. In the case of Office, it's their monthly cadence. As soon as I ship 1809, 3 or 4 weeks later, I will begin shipping builds through the preview program for next summer or next spring's release, 1903. Now, that build that you get in 3 or 4 weeks won't be complete. It won't have all the features in it. But every time you get an update, it'll have more features, more completeness of features. And it's about giving you early visibility so you can start that work. And I would recommend to you, you should have folks, IT department, some developers, even potentially some folks in business units who are interested in some of the new capabilities, who are on preview builds. I get preview build every day as an engineering person. I live full-time on these preview builds. And here's the good part. We've made the update process part of those improvements better with each release. The update experience from 1709 for those 500 million devices, the average or the mean update time was 28 minutes for all hardware in the world. For modern laptops with SSDs, the update time was about 10 minutes. Much, much faster than your experience was probably back when you moved to 1607, because many of you are probably still on 1607, because it's gotten better and better. And it gets even better with 1809. So get on preview builds, you'll see the experiences, you'll see the new capabilities, because the last part of this then is there are 4 key tools or 4 key muscles that I want you to think about in terms of developing as you move to a service mentality, a service model for your organization. The first 2 you'll do automatically. Everybody goes and does this. Infrastructure readiness. If you're SSCM, get on SSCM current. If you're using BigFix or Alteryx, get on the current version of those, so supports Windows 10. Get your flighting rings figured out, get analytics installed, so your tools and your infrastructure are ready to go. You would have done that. Number 2, your initial application compatibility. You'll do this as well if you haven't moved yet, because you're concerned, because frankly I made it so painful for you to move from XP to 7, that's what you're worried about. Very rational. I'm going to tell you, App Compat is fantastic. The team did a great, great job. 99% of your apps will work unchanged. You won't believe me? That's okay. I don't take it personally anymore. But you're going to find that to be the case. But here's the key thing, skill set number 3. and this is the one that most customers with 10 missed. We didn't know about it, we didn't understand it, but now we do, is prepare for the in-place upgrade experience at day one. So as you're doing that initial app compat, my recommendation to customers today is take 20% of your devices, immediately update them to the next version of Windows. So if you're targeting 1803 to deploy, take 20% of those devices and go update them to 1809 today. And now do the app compat testing on both 1803 and 1809 at the same time up front. Convince yourself that the apps work fine or get better after the in-place update when you move to 1809. Convince yourself or figure out what your update process is going to be up front. Because I can promise you, as you're deploying your release for the first time, there'll be another Windows 10 update. There'll be another Office update that comes out. And I want you to be able to be prepared for that and say, no big deal. We're just going to roll forward and take the update as we roll it out and not stop. I have a customer, I kid you not, about 4 months ago, who called me desperately pleading, please, I need you to extend support for 1511. If you don't know, 1511 hasn't been in support for a while now. We don't service anymore. I said, 1511, gosh, please, tell me the bug that I have that I need to go fix so that you can move forward. They said, no, there's no bug, there's no issue. But we chose to deploy 1511. We have 30,000 devices and we haven't got finished deploying 1511. And again, it's that mentality, that project mentality, which is their project was not to move to Windows 10. Their project was not move to Office 365. Their project was to move to 1511. And they couldn't think about doing anything else because they hadn't finished their project. Like, think about we're moving to Windows 10 or moving to Office 365, which have new capabilities. And your job as an organization is to build that process so that you can continue to create new capabilities for your users. And the fact that each feature update came out, it's a good thing. New stuff, it's going to be the norm. So figure out how you're going to handle that from day one so that in the middle of your deployment, you can easily move forward and you don't just stop. The last one is innovation adoption. You've never needed this tool before because we didn't ship frequently enough. Have somebody whose job is to be on preview builds, identify the new features and functionality that your organization wants to go use, do that plan and design work so that when I ship, you're ready to add your design work and roll it out to your users. So it's a very quick high view in terms of the change management process, how to use flying rings and tools. Now we'll get into some of the specifics of how to make that happen.
Thank you, John. So now let's switch into, many of you, when I asked the question, what was the second thing after the why, many of us said the how. And so let's talk about how the team has been building on the servicing stack and how that helps you keep up and implement the changes that John has mentioned. So the first thing is that we heard is your payload's too big. You cannot keep sending 3, 4, 5 gigs down to every device every 6 months. That's just not possible. You guys, you need to help us. And we did listen to that, and through the last few releases, we have been implementing and optimizing many aspects of this. I think the easiest way to understand that is to look at those blue bars. So if you look at those blue bars and you think about that as being a quality update that is kind of saturated in size, our quality updates grow every month because they're cumulative. And then you get to a point where you basically stop there at 1.2 gigs because the files we continue to change are already in the package. But then we implemented express updates. Who here is aware of express updates? Quite a few of you, great. Have you turned on express updates in your SCCM servers and distribution points? No. That would do great for your network when the cumulative updates go down. And the reason for that is that as you deploy your patch Tuesday every month, when they go get the next one and talk to your SCCM server, they ask for only the delta. They will only get the bits that changed that month, and then they will reassemble the binaries so that they can deploy the next cumulative update. So that's the first thing that can save you up to 90% of the bandwidth for monthly updates. And then there's one extra piece that you may be aware of or may not be aware of. Who here is aware of delivery optimization? Less people is aware of delivery optimization. So delivery optimization is a peer-to-peer network networking protocol that was built into Windows 10 to optimize the distribution of both servicing bits and applications in the store. And it is now actually supported by Office 365 ProPlus as well. And by setting up delivery optimization, you can save another 2/3 of your bandwidth by having people on the same subnet share those bits and distribute amongst each other. The next question I normally get is, how do I know if this thing is working? I'm going to go back to what John said. So if you haven't turned on Windows Analytics yet, do that. And in Windows Analytics Update Compliance, there is a blade that will tell you how much benefit you're getting out of delivery optimization. And so that way you can potentially, from using what we call a media approach, which is download the complete package and run the executable that does it, and going into Express and taking advantage of delivery optimization, you can reduce by like 95% the load on your network. For feature updates, the size will be larger because that means a full OS, but you're still going to get probably between 35 and 50% savings by using those two technologies. And then there's one more piece. Anyone here is aware of LADBAT? Only a handful, but some of you are. So LADBAT is not a LADBAT. No, that's not what that means. LADBAT is a transport protocol that actually has the ability to look into the pipe and see if there's bandwidth available. It can quickly take that bandwidth and start using it for downloading bits. But as soon as any other traffic comes, it quickly gets itself out of the way. It's very efficient in not congesting when there's any other traffic. And so that means that even during the day, but mostly during the night, between distribution points, site servers, and your end clients, you can take full advantage of available bandwidth without disrupting the rest of the workloads those devices may be running. And so the combination of those three technologies, Express, delivery optimization, and LADBAT, can give you a significant jump in distributing those bits across your network and making sure that it doesn't overload your end users, your devices, and the overall infrastructure. And as you can guess, we continue to work on this. One of the things that you're probably, you're probably not aware of is the size of the server, of the WSUS server package for Express is larger because we bring in a bunch of bits to make sure we can give you all the bits and pieces. As we evolve this in 1809 and beyond, we're going to stop doing that and want to basically get the best of both worlds. You're going to be able to get the Express size package, but you will also get an Express size package on the server piece. So you're not going to need to do a big download to the distribution point and then small downloads to the clients. So you should expect that coming in 1809. One thing that sometimes is not very clear, and some people tell me that, is like, Bruno, I upgraded from 1511 to 1709, and none of this fast stuff that John said, and none of this network optimization stuff that you said worked. That'd be correct. So the other thing that we update when we do feature updates is the servicing stack. And so a lot of these benefits comes every 6 months, and you will only see it when you jump from like the latest feature update to this current feature update and so on. And so be aware of that if you're on 1607 or 1703, some of these benefits may not be immediately available to you because the servicing stack on those releases doesn't have all of this. Okay, we talked about this a little bit, so I can almost jump into it. We talked about how we lowered the size of the feature update package from 3.5 to 1.8 gig. Again, this is using what we call a servicing approach and in-place upgrades. If you are using a full media download and running setup, that means you're going to still download the 3.5 gigs. One other thing, we know most of us depend on it. We are not taking it away from you in any shape or form, but it isn't always that task sequences in SCCM are the thing that you want to use, or there are some things that you want to maneuver around. And one of the things that we implemented is we implemented a set of folders in the OS upgrade folder structure to allow you to do pre and post in-place upgrade actions that are already contained in the client. So you don't need to worry about getting back on the network or losing connectivity because of a driver or anything like that. And so this is the folder structure. We have a run folder structure that will migrate at every in-place upgrade. And then you have a run once, as the name says, will only run in that particular occasion. And then you have the ability to synchronously pre-install, pre-commit, and do a bunch of things you need to do before. And you can also do that with UBI switch that you have in case you only want to do that action after the out-of-box part of the experience completes. So this is to help you get more flexibility on pre and post in-place upgrade, depending on what's your management platform and how you want to execute those. What else? Feature update rollback improvements. This is something that you probably think of as the standard 10-day. So when you do a feature update, you have a standard 10-day rollback that is available on the endpoint. We now allow you to trigger that rollback remotely, either via MDM or Config Manager, and other management tools support it as well. And you now have the ability to change it from 2 to 60 days, depending on who the endpoint is, how much risky do you think it is, and if you believe you want to give your end users a little bit more time to make sure that everything is working to their needs. What else? Sometimes an update fails. And then it's kind of like, why did it fail? I had people come to me at the expo and say, hey, I have an update that failed, and I have no idea why. And it's happening on this particular device, and it's happening from this feature update to this feature update. And so we have set up Diag, available in the download center, which will go through all your logs. You can use it on a live device. It will go through the logs and try to give you the exact pieces of those logs that indicate the issues that you faced. And even if you cannot do that on a live device, you can download the logs from the hard drive, take it to set up Diag on a different device, load them, and it will go comb all those logs and try to find what are the key indicators of that failure. So that's to help you get to the exact reason for that failed update without having to comb through thousands and thousands of lines of script. Application reinstallation improvements. Anyone here has had the experience of having inbox applications come back to your device after a feature update? Some of you. So that is a thing that happened in very early feature updates. Since then, we have implemented in 2 different waves the ability first for end users to remove some of their those inbox apps, and those inbox apps not come back anymore. And then we have now improved that and documented so that you as IT can go and remove inbox apps, flag a setting, and those will not come back in future feature updates. And we're going to continue to evolve that. We're working to thinking of ways to remove it early in the cycle, make it work with autopilot and other things where we want to make this experience easier for you if you need to make that app removal. So, as John said, you may not believe us, but most of your apps will work. But there may be a couple that won't. For that couple that won't, we want to make sure we don't leave any app behind. And we want to make sure that we help you with that. And so if you have a subscription of Windows Enterprise, you have access to Fast Track. And Fast Track has a new program launching on October 1st, first in English, and then we will expand to other languages early in the next year, called Desktop App Assure. And what Desktop App Assure's mission is to get apps that you had working on Windows 7 before, and that for any reason as you move to Windows 10 did not work, that we can help you make those work. And so even if you don't believe me and John, and we understand if you don't believe at first, so hopefully you do a few feature updates and then you see, oh, it's true. But even in those occasions when it is not true, we have a service to back you off. Okay? So that, I believe, is my Windows piece with one exception. People want to know, how long is each feature update supported? Hold your phones. I have an animation on that slide. You may want to see that. What you're seeing here is our servicing cycle prior to feedback that you have all given us. And what you're seeing here is 18 months for each feature update, and you're seeing a previous 6 months for Windows Insider preview builds. And you've given us update that depending on your size, depending on your regulatory situation, depending on your calendar, how your business operates, you may need more time. And we have extended servicing for 6 months and did some different servicing options that were paid before to help you adapt to that. And on September 6th of this month, we have actually decided that the September releases for enterprise and education will be serviced for 30 months. And so that means that going forward, starting with 1809, the second release of the year will be serviced for 30 months for enterprise and education only. That does not apply to Pro and Pro for Education. Now, the other thing that you want to understand is, hold on a minute, you said the second of the year only, but I can see that 1607, 1703, 1709, and 1803 are all supported for 30 months. Can you explain that? Yes, we can gladly explain that. We don't know which of those feature updates you picked to start your transition to Windows 10. And we did not want to take a draw and decide which one of you gets 30 months to do the change and which one of you gets 18 months. And so for that reason, the current set of 4 releases that are serviced will be serviced for 30 months to allow you to make the transition and then pick if you're going to go on the 6-month train or if you're going to, by any chance, need to go on extended servicing and take the longer train. We recommend, if you get on the cadence for 30 months, that you do a feature update per year. Keep that in mind. 30 months seems like a lot of time, but if you face some of the challenges that you have given us as feedback, those 30 months will probably mean that you're going to deploy. You're going to have 12 to 15 months of use on that release, and you're going to be on your way to going to the next one before it runs out of servicing. So have that in mind. Some people look at this and say, oh, cool, I have a bunch of time. Look at your deployment schedules and all that, and as John pointed out, work on shortening that deploy decision so that you can take more time out of the use of each of those feature updates, and then hopefully you get on the 6-month train, so you get your end users and your security up with that. Okay, I am out of time, but I happen to have a few slides on Office 365 ProPlus servicing. And so let's go through those really fast because our condensation seems to not have been enough. So let's talk about a few key things. You want to know, can I use analytics for Office? The only thing we do in Windows Analytics for Office today is add in inventory. But we do have the Office Readiness Toolkit while we get ready to give you access to desktop analytics, which will allow you to look at compatibility for add-ins, your VBA code, and your macros. Interesting data point. We looked at millions upon millions of files in OneDrive for Business and SharePoint Online because you told us that, hey, I have a bunch of files with macros and they break and everything breaks. So we went and looked. About 2% of files have macros. Of those 2%, about only 1.5% of those 2% have some of the things that we use in macros that may lead to breakage. Most of those relate to external references and external links. And so as you think about macros and compatibility, you can use ORT to help you identify which are those files and remediate those based on some of those indicators. What else? Improvements in click to run. I mentioned some of those. So the key ones are on the bottom. First one is it takes advantage of delivery optimization. So now you can also minimize the impact on your network, on your ProPlus deployment. There are click-to-run proofing tools available. Please do not use the MSI proofing tools with click-to-run. That's not compatible, not supported, and it leads to kind of interesting situations in bits and updates. But we do have something for you to help you out with that because we heard from you that, hey, I kind of want to go to click to run, but that means I need to clean up all the MSI stuff on those endpoints before I can do it. And so now, and we announced this week, a new tool on config.office.com that will generate the XML configuration for your ProPlus deployment, and that includes a new switch that says MSI remove. And when that happens, it just goes and swipes all of the device and removes everything MSI in there before laying down click to run and the proofing tools and all that. So that should facilitate and help you do that migration without some of the trouble you may have had in the past. And so with that, here's config.office.com, and I will wrap it up with our path to modern desktop adoption. So to move to a modern desktop, we believe this is the kind of the road for you. You start with gaining insights with Windows Analytics and the Office Readiness Toolkit. You set a foundation by deploying your first wave of Windows 10 and Office 365 ProPlus, hopefully on modern devices, maybe as you refresh hardware. Then you stay current with phased deployments and a set of agile updates using some of the methodologies and technologies we discussed today. And last but not least, you can now embrace the cloud piece of your management with Windows Autopilot, moving into co-management, Intune, and so on. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up and open for any questions you may have because we are way past time. Thank you so much for your attention this morning. Appreciate it. Yes, if you can use the microphone, because I receive feedback that people like to listen to other people's questions because they may have similar questions or they may have not had.
Good feedback, good feedback. Is it on? Yeah, hi. So I'm, a lot of feedback, working in a Greenfields rollout. It's an interesting situation because it's in China, using 21 ViaNet. So a lot of the modern desktop stuff is actually unavailable, which is heartbreaking. for Office, I'm seeing conflicting views on the volume licensing service center. It says use 32-bit, but I'm hearing this week a lot move to 64-bit. What do you think?
What I happen to know is that I don't think we have issued guidance publicly to move to 64-bit, but we have seen more and more reasons to do that, to make that move. And so I would evaluate especially the Excel side of some of your usage.
Excel's the one I mainly hear about.
Yeah, and decide if you want to go 32 or 64. I can tell you many of us at Microsoft are running 64 today.
I mean, it's a new environment, so I may as well just do 64 and wait for someone to complain, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Other questions? Yeah, please.
I follow most of the practices that you described so far. We do monthly patching, and we have 3 different sets of users. So within the second week of the release, I'm updating Enterprise. My main concern is that we're an engineering company, and folks don't have second machines, so they actually use their primary machine to do simulations and different things like that. And when the reboot comes, I'm always interrupting them or stopping the simulation that they have to start over. So we tried different ways to actually change the windows. Is there anything better than a 24-hour window that we can do, or a different approach that we can do to make it the user more friendly?
Do you have working hours set for these users?
Excuse me?
Do you have working hours set for these users?
Yeah, we have standard working hours, but there's actually no maintenance windows. So these guys can start a simulation on their machine that might take 6 to 8 hours, and they start in the evening, they go home. They come back and their machine's rebooted.
Because they left the machine. So there's two couple of questions. Actually, let me pop afterwards. There's the intelligence in the product itself in terms of when we will kick off an update if you set working hours, or do you use SCCM or some other tool for managing
Yes,
updates?
SCCM.
If you're enforcing the update yourself, then you are the one who's causing the update to occur. I have a concept of working hours as the device is being used. The update client won't do that, it adheres to those. You can override that with an SCCM policy, which just says it must be updated by this point in time, in which case the reboot will occur. So in your particular case, I don't know which is kicking in.
Yeah, so we have it set for 24 hours after you receive the updates.
So are you giving the users prompts in advance?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But that doesn't seem to work, so I just wanted
Yeah.
It hits 24 and then it goes.
We are, doesn't help us, because we've added in 1809 this capability to improve that process, which is for laptop users now, when the user goes and closes the laptop, puts it in sleep mode, we are going to actually extend the length of time that device takes to get into sleep. We'll shut the monitor down, and we'll actually go and complete the installation and the update while they're shutting it down, so when they come back, open it back up. It's basically done that. Basically, we're going to delay the length of time, but it's in your backpack. You won't know about it, so you have battery life. That will help in the laptop cases. Doesn't necessarily help in your case, because in your case, the user's still active using the device. We would recognize that they're using the device, you shouldn't do this. Your SCCM policy is stepping in and saying, sorry, if the user was sitting there, there's a little thing that pops up and says, you've got 5 minutes, you've got 4 minutes, you ran out of time, boom, you're kicking it off.
Right.
That's a user behavior thing. Yes, it's a very common thing, and we can talk about that, but that's.
Okay, so there's no, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
there's no
Thank
magic. Thank you. Yes.
Morning. So 1803, that we have, say, about 1,000 endpoints, and 20% of them we haven't been able to get that to take, and we find that the Windows Update resource pegs out the CPU at 100%, and we'll just mess with it and mess with it. We can never get it. Is that like a common problem you guys saw with that update at all, or is it exclusive, like in our environment?
There are multiple different things that can cause devices to go through an issue. If yours is, there's subvalue would help. Disk space is common. Does not sound like you're running a disk space issue. Do you have third-party security apps on the device, or what's yours?
No, it's just using Defender.
Okay. So I think part of it we could go through the logs and find out what's going on in the concept.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was something you saw widely spread or.
No, actually, with 1803, our success in terms of updates, again, besides call service, has actually improved in terms of successfully completing rollbacks, uninstalls, was the lowest we've had so far.
Okay.
So it does, absolutely, it happens like we have. Our
Right, yeah.
failure rate's about 3% for all of our devices.
It just seems like it keeps trying and trying, and it just depletes all the resources on the station. So,
Check
all right.
disk space.
Yeah, I'll check.
See if there's disk space.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yes.
when the announcement was made that the life cycle was going to be increased for Windows 10, it was my understanding that 1803 was going to be supported for 30 months, but your slide showed 18
No,
months.
it is. It
Okay,
is.
so it is 30 months.
Yeah, so
Okay,
30,
I got worried.
you may, my slide may have confused you because we added one more year to show that on 1903 it was going to be 18, and then 1909 it was going to be 30, but you can see that 1803 has the extra 12.
Okay.
Thank you, good question. Making sure, never hurts. Yes, for the questions, for the microphone, and if you have questions not for the microphone, I will turn the microphone off and we can huddle here.
I
Yes.
got one, hopefully you don't get mad at me. Is there any plan to stop putting the whatever, Metro apps or whatever they're called now in a lot of the enterprise SKUs of Windows 10? That's always my frustration is as soon as I get ready to roll out, all the home stuff that I don't want my business users seeing, I have to pull out.
So, a couple of things. On enterprise, you should not be seeing any of the consumer apps and games. That is not part of the enterprise image. What we call inbox apps, which are Microsoft apps that are there, that are like news and Xbox Live and the augmented reality client, we are working through, like today you have to provision it and then send the command to the device and remove them.
Right.
We have been looking into a way to allow you to do that as you provision your device, but we don't have anything set for that
What
now.
release are you on?
I'm sorry?
What release are you on at the moment?
We just finished upgrading everyone to 1703.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing is, and again, I apologize for this, but your issue today was you've already moved them.
Yep.
You were happy. You took an update and they came back.
Right.
So we've addressed those things. So you can remove them as you're doing, and you won't have this problem. You'll be happy. Your second issue is why they're there, and then why you put them back. We should have addressed the why you put them back. We are doing work so they won't be there to begin with. You're already past that point. For those of you, we don't know the details yet, but they'll have an option where they won't be there to begin with, so they won't be an issue in terms of coming back. But your initial point is, if you've taken them off, you've been good to go because they won't come back anymore. We'll respect the choice you've made.
Which I appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.